navigation bar, and then um, a moment. Yeah, we are recording. So yeah, our design is very simple, right? We have a bottom navigation bar. We have, and then we have some simple card, right? Or title, whatever to call it now. Um, home, shop, help, and menu, right? Then some other cards. Let me call it the home screen or whatever, right? So I'll be firing up my emulator and my code editor so we can, build this together. Um, so, here we have my emulator and code editor, right? So just created a fresh Flutter project and wiped off the whole default code. Um, for those of us that want to preview the link to the design, we're dropping it here in chat. Right, so that's the link to the design, and then so yeah, this way we can also see the design, and yeah, I'll start coding. So I'm going to create this screen, basic, straightforward, no deep customization, no theme extension, right? Then we'll refactor and add the theme extension. So I'll be muting while I start.
Master Sam, is it possible to zoom your code a bit so that people can see it? And also, I think you need to accept people that wants to join, or you change the settings for them to be able to join without accepting. Thank you.
Yeah, I think every it's setting is open. Everyone can join. I don't have to admit anyone, and I'm hoping that my screen is fine like this. The font size.
Can you zoom it a bit more? All right.
Is it better?
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So we've tried to replicate the important part of the design. The regular way you would, code this out, right, without any team extensions, no biggie, no heavy lifting, right? So basically, so what's our team extension? Let's start from there, right? We all know in Flutter, right, the way we style our components. So our Flutter components style themselves in three different ways. The first one is by passing the type properties to the widgets. For example, your scaffold has type properties like background color and some other properties, right? So apparently, you've passed the styling properties to the constructor of that widget. You have things like background color and whatnot. For text, for example, you have things like you pass the text style to the widget, right? And inside the text style, you have things like font weight, the font size, the color itself, right? So that's one way by which other components style themselves by passing by taking the styling properties right there in their constructor. The second way, right, is by means of an inherited widget. If we check text, for example, how does text style itself? Let's see. How does text? So what text does is let's look at this. This text widgets, right? This is how the Flutter engine draws the text widgets. So you have a default text style somewhere up in the tree, right? Because it's an inherited thing. So basically, so you try cases where the style is not available, right, in the constructor, you check for the nearest text style, right, up in there in the tree. So we have if style is equal to null or style of inherit, right? The effective text style would be the default text style. Then you merge with the style you have up there, right? A lot of other components do this, where they try to style themselves with from a styling up in the widget tree. Another very good example is the app bar itself. Uh, this app bar. App bar has guys like shadow color, surface tint color, shape, background color, foreground color, title text style, system overlay style, etc. Right? But when we check how it styles itself, right, we would notice one thing. Let's see where app bar built itself. Let's see. Mm, where do you build yourself? Let's see. So yeah, the app bar itself. I try to get the theme. It looks up the tree for the nearest app bar theme, right? Save that this in this variable. Then it tries to get the default app bar theme, right? So if it's using material theory, get the default material theory app bar theme. If it's using material two, get the default material two app bar theme, right? Then what it does is it tries to apply. That is here. Try to apply the foreground color from the outboard theme. That's if the foreground color is not passed to the widget. It says get the widget dot foreground color. Where it is null, try to use the outboard theme foreground color. And where that is null also, try to use the default foreground color. So this basically summarizes the three ways where we can style our components by passing styling properties in the constructor of the widgets, by using checking for the nearest theme for that component, and by using defaults. Yeah, the idea of team extension is not far from that. It's not far from that. Team extension exists as a way for you to extend your team. Um, we all work with designers, right? We have different designers, and as such, a designer might follow material design to the core, and they might not follow material design to the core. It's fine. Also, designers tend to design custom components, right? Every now and then, as mobile engineers, right, when you are building, you come across custom components that are not available to the Flutter SDK out of the box, right? Which is why you create custom and reusable widgets, right? Now, so how do you effectively style these components, right, and these widgets? So enter the picture team extension. So team extension exists for you to be able to apply the same way Flutter style their component, the same way properties in Flutter are being styled. That is the same way you can you can style your own custom widgets, right? By applying custom theming properties. It might be things like colors, it can be things like spacing, it can be things like textile, decoration. In fact, it can be other theme extensions itself, right? So that's the work of theme extension. So how do you use a theme extension? First thing, inside your theme data, you have the parameter called extensions, okay, which takes an iterable of theme extension. Meaning I'm going to have something like iterable theme extension. Um, should be theme extension. Yeah, takes an iterable theme extensions. Right, so this is how you add theme extension. So basically, you define an iterable theme extension, then you supply whatever extension you want to supply to it. Yeah. So I think we should first start with the text styles. Let's start from there. But then our design has both light and dark mode, right? So let's switch to dark mode and see how this app behaves in dark mode. Um, let's see. I think it should be called dark appearance. I think it's dark appearance. Aha, yeah, there it is. So yeah, dark appearance. Let's see how it behaves. See, like, it's not does not do anything because we don't have the dark theme itself, right? So let's just define some dummy dark theme, right? And see what would happen. So yeah, dark theme, then theme mode itself. Mm, let me get the brightness. Media query plus background brightness off. So let's like or we just even use sim yeah, let's use sim of the system instead. So it's set it to the system sim mode, right? And then we realize that yeah, so nothing happens, right? And that's because every styling property has been hard-coded right there. The color is set to the color itself. Um, this container has its own color. This button has its own color. So there's no response to theme change, right? Yeah. So let's create some themes. All right. Let me get the theme folder. Ideally, when we start new projects, right, we have some kind of file that hold our text styles. So let me start with that. Text styles. But here, we'll be adopting theme extensions. So how do we create a custom styling property, right, via theme extension? It's very simple. Um, Three things actually. First of all, you create a class. Just call it, what should we call it? Play text theme. A class that extends theme extension, theme extension, with its own type, right? That's one. You have to override the copy with method and the left method. So two missing override. So this the basic structure of a simple theme extension. Um, the type, a copy with method, and a left method. Left for linear interpolation to interpolate between the two. Okay. In our design, what style do we have defined? We only have colors defined. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. One textile, another textile. Let me see clearly. One textile, another, this another, right? So we have three different textiles here. So ideally, your designer should have a textile, right? You should name this textile. Okay, this is headline. This is it's not after a little bit. Okay, so we have textiles. Let me call it headline, right? That's for this. Then we call this, you know, title and body. It's easier that way. Title and body, right? Then the constructor itself, like same, this dot headline, this dot title, and this dot body. All right. Then we have to vary the copy with method. Um, this ensures that you can call dot copy with on any styling property, right? That's what the copy with method is. You can copy a text and do dot copy with and then modify any other property. But in this case, our properties are textiles, so textile. And we have three textile: headline, title, and body. So textile, headline, um, textile, title, and textile, textile body. And here we're going to it's going to return what team extension of playtext team. So we just return playtext team, body, headline, and title. Okay, this is headline. Where it is null, use the current headline. So headline, use the body. Use the body where it is null, switch it to this dot body. And for similarly for title, same thing. Pass the currently passed body. Um, and where it's not provided, use the right. Then for the left method, linear interpolation, we want to first check that the way we are interpolating to is actually it's also a play text theme that we have defined. We say if order, okay, if the order is not latex theme, just return this, which is the current latex theme, right? That's an early escape. In other cases, return the latex theme itself. So we have headline is similarly, no, sorry, we're interpolating, sorry, body and in title, the third one. So since we're interpolating, I think the text style method has a left, yeah. We are going from A to B. That is, we are going from the current, we are going from the past um, headline, right, to the other headline, his order, right, dot headline, yes. Then the interpolation value is C, that's T. Similarly, for body and title, it's the same thing. They're all textiles. So this for title, this for title, body and body. So yeah, this is an extension for the textile itself. Then we define it right here inside the extension, latex theme and latex theme. Right. So this way we've created a simple text theme extension for our text. And yeah, we provided this to our team. So yeah, so how do we use the extensions? Uh, the best way to call team extension is by doing team dot of context dot context. Let me just find out text teams first. This it can be invoked. Should be right. It should still be it. Right, team of content extension this. Dot extension. Yeah, sorry. Dot extension. So to use this is a simple way to call a team extension where this is the type if you've defined already in the extensions. So I could just do text team dot. I think we call this headline, right? Was it headline? I remember again. Headline, right? Remove this guy from here. And yeah. Yeah, I was going here. So yeah, this way we use it text style, right? However, we just blew up the app, right? Not check operator used on a null value. And why is this null? It's our text team, right? We define all the text property, but there are no default value or no fallback. So earlier when we check the app bar widget, for example, right? We realize that the app bar widget tries to style itself with the properties that were passed to it directly. And where it was not available, we try to check up the tree for the nearest app team, and where not available, it tried to use the default, right? So there's no default here, there's no fallback here. It's not, it's not nothing. So in the end, we are going to blow up the app because there's no headline, right? Technically, we've not defined the exact property of the headline. You might say we can still do this, but I mean, yes, but then this is not it, right? This is not it. So, yes, what we want to do is we could do one of two things. What I do often is to create a fallback constructor, a fallback factory now, right? So that would be this latex team dot fallback, then return this. So headline, title, and body. For headline, I'm coming. What was the original? This was our headline was this, right? This was our headline. Okay, headline for. He said I wanted to use this for title, so we'll just copy and use. Then for the body, we would um was that body title? No, that's not title. This title down here. So for title, um let's make it hold on. Can you stop closing? Yeah, I said for title, this is the text, this is the style. So I would move it in there. Then for body, that would be for body, that would be this, right? Okay, we're almost there. And then yes. So when I'm registering the play text, the team itself, I'm registering with the fallback value, which would be the fallback value, the fallback value. So where I'm going to use this now, I could just do text team dot headline directly. If I do text team dot headline, yeah, constant. Yep. So like our nothing has changed in its style. Texting dot headline, then um for this texting dot the title now. There we constant somewhere up here. Title and then this is texting dot body. Yes, so we've not broken our design, right? It is fine. Now, how do you respond to the different theme mode, right? All right, yeah, we define the fallback text for light and dark mode, right? One thing to note, all text are in Flutter, um, by default, they inherit their style from, I think it's important to note that from here, text theme, I think it's body medium now. Yeah, from here, right? So let me just, so I can, by default, I think if you're running one of the more recent Flutter versions, your the body medium defines the default style for text theme, right? So that implies that when you don't have, say, colors passed to your text style, by default, it will adapt the color I provided to text theme body medium, right? This is why I say everything is purple. You guys said the default color there to be purple. Okay. That being said, let's go back to our main work. So, want to refactor this to respond to both light and dark mode, right? I think I should stop here and ask if you have any questions. Are there any questions if I proceed? Okay.
Are we going to get the code? The
Yes, yes. Everything used to be shared, right? Video, code, design.
okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's attend to dark mode now, right? So looking at this, this is the light text color and this is dark text color, right? Same here, light text color, dark text color. And so what do we notice? Our dark text color is colors.white. So let's refactor. Um, so how do we refactor? Um, Ideally, you could create constructor for, or a factory now for both light and dark mode, right? You could go to that, you could go to the approach of a constructor, or you could go the approach of defining all the styles here, where you would define it when you're using theme regularly. You could go this approach or the constructor approach. If I'm to go this approach, that means I'm going to do things like, let me see. Okay, let me just try one of the property. Right. Okay. I'm going to go that approach. I'm going to do things like, I mean, let's bring the what happened. Mm, Um, okay. So let me get the body, this body, and right, this body, and this is headline. Okay, so it's still back to now for this the dark theme, right? For dark mode, we have our text color to be color dot white, right? So we just do colors dot white, colors dot white, and colors dot white, right? So, okay. So define the body colors, headline color, and title color to be white, right? As expected. Then the other things that I need to change, things like the card, this card color, right? The card background color, the background color of the screen. Since we're using a scaffold, background color would be this guy, the color. Let me get the background color. All right, I think this should be it. Scaffold background color, right? Regular theming, scaffold background color. The other guy is colors dot white, right? What have we used? Yeah, whatever it's used, this is used there. Let me see that. Colors dot white. Then down in the screen. Okay, I moved there. That's that. Then for our component itself, we have two components here. The very first one, let me call it sorry. Let's extract the component and call it header, right? Header, and let's call this component um let's call it card tile. And that should do. Card tile, that should do. Right. Then let the scaffold background color be defined by the team. Right. So for light mode, scaffold background color defined here. So this is the dark mode styling. We are getting the bit by bit. If we come back and change the appearance to light, we still maintain the original. So we're trying to refactor to support dark mode. All right. So let's go back. Yeah. So what remains? These components and these two components, right? Yeah. Um. This is unnecessary. So remove that. It's not needed. Not needed. It's not required. Not required. Thank you. So you have your guy and header also similarly. So now, so yeah, the reason why we have these colors still remaining the same, even across both light and dark, is because we define that component color, right, to be this irrespective of it's just static, irrespective of the changing theme. And then similarly for the card side, which is this, we define this to be colors to be white, irrespective of the change in the change in theme mode. So what we can do is this. We could also use theme extensions to do that, right? Um, we could use theme extensions to hold that. Let's call it the play theme. The goal here is to create a global theme. That's the way we have theme of context, right? Where we can call different properties that we need from. And by that, I could do a simple, let me call it play theme data for instance, that extends theme extension and gives me play theme data back. And please override what we want to missing overrides. And yeah, so what property am I holding? I need to hold my text themes, which is play text theme, if I remember correctly. That's text theme. And I also need to hold I could just hold the color only. Let me call it. What can we call it? Maybe header color, for example. I don't know. It's cost type color, and I could also decide to hold this card color itself. Card color, right? And then you have to create the constructor. It it does this. This dot text theme, this dot text theme, and this dot header color, and this dot card tile color, right? Okay. Let me define quick fallback values. Play theme data dot fallback. Define fallback values here, right? That would be this. Ideally, if you are implementing multiple theme mode, you might want to have like constructors for dark and light instead, one for dark and one for light, or you could just pass everything down from the theme indirectly. That also works. My fallback should just do play text theme dot fallback. Yeah, I defined fallback value there. My header color, let me give it colors dot white, and card size color itself defined as colors dot white also. If I deal with multiple themes, I'll prefer to do light and dark constructor. If I don't start passing it down from out there, dark. So this header color, um, actually a container that has background image, but let's just use some form of color for now. Yeah, that's this. The header color itself, that's this guy. I think similarly, this is white with opacity. Then the card size color itself, that would be this for dark mode. Um, we are not constant of it. Then for light mode, that would be colors dot white. Okay, so it's not constant. Don't forget to register this theme itself. I'm going to register in our main.dat under the extensions, theme data, import so dot light, right? And we can also do here dot dark. So since I already have this play text theme defined inside the play theme data already, I don't need to pass it. I don't need to register it anymore, right? I could just do it with that. I mean, the light already has a value for text theme already, so there's no point in doing that anymore. And dark also the same thing. So all these properties that are here, I could like just move them out. They're useless. And yeah, so fallback for play text theme, let's use the light mode instead. Lights, and then we could create the equivalent for dark. Similarly, with this and dark, then these properties. So what's then down here? Here, to the lights, and this is the dark. All right. So with train node. Okay. So since we've defined the theme now, right? I mean, since all our team properties are inside plating data, all we just need to do is to get plating data itself. Let's call this theme. And similarly, we do, I know we use two places. Yeah, plating data, and this would be theme. We import plating data. So this could be theme dot, this header, right? Header color. This is theme dot the text theme itself, dot the headline. So similarly, where else do we need it? Yeah, the title, title and body. Yeah, it's not necessary. So yeah, we're almost there. So we say we are changing already. We're almost there. Um, what else? We have the color of yes. So theme dot the card style color itself. Right. All right. What else? What else? What else? This is food you love. Food you love. Right. Card text. Whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. The button property itself. We could also attend to that. But first, let's confirm we've not broken our light mode or our app generally. Um, light appearance, of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this light mode. So we're having these red errors because we are yet to implement our copy with method and left method. So of course it blows up, like it throws an error. So similarly, to implement the copy with method, we return splitting data itself, right? Splitting data has this, what else again? This property, these three properties. So this would be this is copy with, we are copying existing properties. We have play text theme to this text theme to have header color and is it type color now that we call it card type color, and the card type color itself. So we said to return the card type color where available, else do this dot card type color, return the header color where available, return this dot header color, and then similarly text theme, and where it's not available, this dot text theme, right? Then for lep, like we did earlier, if the type is not placing data, if the other type is not splitting data, just do an early return this. And for every other case, return placing data itself. Um, Card style color, header color, and text theme. For colors, we also have a lerp method on color, so .lerp. So from where we are currently, which is the card style color, where we are going to order dot card style color, the population value T, header color also, it's same thing, unit of type color. This would be header color, and this would be header color. For text theme, I think we define left value for text theme, right? So that would be text that would be text theme dot left, yeah, the order, and see apparently why are we having, it says argument this can be assigned to the text theme.
My pleasure.
Excuse me. You guys should return a play text theme. Play text. Sorry, not you. Where the text theme itself. Where's that property again? Play text team, yeah. That's a bug. So let's fix it. Yes. Where are we? The argument type play team that can be assigned to this. Why now? It should actually. Implicate now. Okay. Oh. Other dot text team. Constant constructor. All right, so we've defined um, dark and light properties, right? So what else? With our light mode, let's confirm that the dark works as expected. Yep. So that's uh, the dark equivalent, right? So yeah, so that's what extensions are. A theme extension can hold anything. A theme extension can hold uh, things like color, spacing, um, any color property, any styling property. Your theme extension can hold it. Even a theme extension can hold other theme extension, just as we've done here. A theme extension that is holding another theme extension, as long as you don't forget to define it, right? Um, yeah, I think I was going to show something, then I think I forgot. Another show. Um, Another cool thing you could do is cases where perhaps you want your play team data, or you want a text team that behaves like a regular team data, right? That holds every other thing, right? I could also define a static method uh, that returns play team data and do of build context um, team dot of context dot extension like this of plating data. So this way, instead of always doing team of context dot extension plating data, we could just do something as simple as plating data of context. We could just do this. We just do this instead, and yeah, similarly do it here also. Let's move on use imports. So that does not break our app. Yes. So so basically, you could also create another a very big team extension that hold other team extensions, right? And yes, let's do it. You could go as simple as using team extension to only handle your text styles, right? And you could go as complex as defining styling properties via team extension for your reusable components. Emphasis on reusable components because you don't as much as team extension are very, very powerful and good, right? For one-time usage and very, very simple things, you might not want to use define a team extension just for that, right? So in your reward scenario, your components might be complex than what we have here, right? But eventually it's still the same idea. If I have a component that has a custom spacing, text style, color, and whatever, I can create a team extension that will hold all those properties, then define fallback for it. If you are not building both light and dark mode, you could just define a fallback for it, or just define only for lights and use it. If tomorrow you're going to have dark mode, all you need to do is to just add the dark constructor and define the values for those properties. Or if you don't like the approach of having constructors instead, you could just take the approach of this and then define everything in line here inside your team. I think this is the approach that your Flutter teaming takes, right? So you have a teaming the team data and everything is passed to it, right? It's a similar approach. You have your play team data and then you can pass everything to it. Um, yes, so eventually I could like do away with this for texting provided by the Flutter engine, and yeah, nothing is broken because all my tech are still available, are actually provided via team extensions. So yeah, I think I'll take questions now if there are questions. Yeah, please go ahead if you have questions. Please go ahead. Just someone raise up their hand. If you have questions, please ask.
Yeah, good day, boss. My network was kind of so. I wanted to ask that you made mention of the fact that you can set in your dark and your light mode. So I wanted to ask that is there any more efficient method than having to declare every time that term equals to play term extension dot of context, or every time you want to use that a term in a particular widget, you have to declare that particular line.
Yeah, so the way you use team extension, right? You have to do team of context extension, then the extension type, and use it, right? Like this default way by which you can actually use a team extension. What I also did there was to provide a shorthand, right? Where I don't have to do team of context and the extension type. I just do play team data of context, I think, which is what I did in here of context, right? And then just call the properties that I need directly. I think I did card side color, the text team, right? If you don't do this, the other alternative will be doing team of context. Alternative will be basically doing basically be calling this, right? Actually the same thing. Either you do this or yeah. You could create your own kind of shorthand to avoid repeating that team of context, whatever, every now and then. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
All right. Um, who else? Okay, I think Samuel might.
Jonah and
Yeah,
Samuel.
good
Yeah,
evening, sir.
Samuel, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, yeah. I just want to like make a contribution to what David asked. I think was asking for like a shorthand. So what may I do normally is that I define an extension, like normal extension on maybe team extension, right? And then you can provide the text team for it. That's what I do. So that's how I do mine. So you just write the text team, then it's going to give you the text team instead of writing. That's just how I do mine instead of writing it like that. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I think you said you just create an extension, right, on a
Yeah,
particular object.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, different
yeah,
any shorthand you want to use, right? It works.
yeah. Sure. I
Yeah.
just wanted to drop that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Personally, I just prefer keeping with this kind of shorthand because I mean everybody chooses the idea of team of context. So let me just keep it to um what everybody people are used to. Yeah. Jonah has a question.
Okay, good evening, sir. I want to. My question is, um, we have this extension, this theme extension, and
Yes.
if you, for example, you created a button, a toggle button that can enable the user to switch from light to dark mode within the app, can this method still work?
Yeah, it works actually. Right? It works. So what you are saying is you have, let me see. You have a button somewhere where you can switch between light and dark mode. Yeah, it works. Same thing, right? What you just have to do is how do you switch between light and dark mode? I think by default, people tend to create a simple change notifier or a state notifier, right? Where that changes this value. It still works, right? Because the only thing that's going to change is just this is here. When they switch, when they switch, right, you are setting a team mode somewhere, and you're coming to change the team mode in this line. That's like the only that's the only change that has to happen, right? Your your extensions don't really care, right, about how you are going to change the team mode, right? It does not care. Its own is I am here and I've been defined for different team styles. So whenever you switch from light to dark mode, right, the device, the app queries, the engine queries the team. Oh, what team are we on currently, and what style should I apply? I'm on dark team. Okay, apply the dark team style. I'm on light team mode, right? Apply the light team style. So yeah, it works.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Jonathan is still up, so I don't know if you see the question.
Um, um, Samuel, the we can still use our number copy width on any of those.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. You can actually. It's the same thing. I could do copy width, right? I could just and then maybe I could do something as simple as change the color to colors dot blue, right? Yeah, really change.
Yeah, but I think the problem with this is it will not account for light mode and dark mode, or would it?
Like when you how are you applying the copy width? I don't get.
Like if we were to specify that you have a copy with colors dot blue, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that means either in light or in dark mode, it still be colors dot blue.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. It switching a copy width, right, is not exactly a problem with the theme itself, right? Because if I inherit the text theme that's available to Flutter theme itself, right, and I apply a copy width, you see the same behavior. You just apply the copy property to it directly, right? So basically, the same behavior still exists. Like the behavior is not broken, right? The only thing that changes here is the whole styling is being done by team extensions. Already we have default or fallback for the different um, team mode. Yeah, clear.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
There any other question?
Yeah, just one more thing. If there's like any extra reading materials, probably links or anything like that, maybe links to documentation. Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yes. Um, yeah, there are actually, right? I think I was meant to prepare a slide for this, but then I prefer it to be a coding session. So, yeah, but I think what we will do is we're going to share the materials, this video, link to this video, this code base, then other materials that you could consume, like the documentation and other live projects out there that leverage team extensions, right? So that everyone can read on those literature and yeah consume them. Yeah. So yeah, in summary, we'll share those, right? Everybody, yeah, we'll share those. Any other question? Addition, subtractions, multiplication, division, comments, contributions. Please now ask questions and use imports. So yeah, in the absence of no questions, thank you so much for attending this workshop. Right, this workshop is organized by Flutter Lagos community, and over time we tend to hold a series of. Oh, yeah, please ask your question before I round up. You want that raised, Jonah? Oh. Yeah, so I said this session is organized by Lagos, and over time we tend to hold sessions like this. Uh, Technical sessions could be theoretical sessions, spaces, live code on YouTube, and whatnot. Yeah, so this session is handled by me, Samuel Abada, Team Extensions. Our next session should be in around 2 weeks from now, but it's definitely not the topic on Team Extension. The topic will be communicated to us in the community via mail, or via Twitter, or whatever channel. Yeah, so I remain myself, Samuel Abada. You can follow me on Twitter as, I think on Twitter I appear as Master Sam with an underscore, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, thinking about it. I
I,
ain't supposed to know it.
actually, I- actually, it's Master Sam with an underscore, right? I'm also on the Flutter Lagos groups, Telegram or WhatsApp, right? So yeah. Please follow us also on Twitter at Flutter Lagos. Please follow us at Flutter Lagos on Twitter. Thank you. And join us on Meetup. I know I want to believe everybody here registered on Meetup, right? That's why they are here. And for those of you that joined the available link, it's fine. Please join us on Meetup. I'll be dropping the link now. So yeah, if you join Flutter Lagos on Meetup, also follow us on Twitter at, what's our Twitter handle again? Oh, it's Flutter
Twitter handle
Lagos.
is Flutter Lagos.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Look at me. I don't even know his Twitter handle.
And you should also join us on Meetup so that you get like events sent to your email, and you don't have to like worry about, oh, what's next, and start looking for it in the community, right? So and I hope you had a great time today in the class. Master Sam will round up the remaining one.
So yeah, nothing else to say. That's all for today's session, right? If you have any questions, you can reach out to the community admins. You can reach out to me personally. I would be glad to answer your question, right? Um, yes. So it's a weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. And enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Bye.